name is Felicia Wright, and this is the Go Rogue podcast. Do you feel stuck? Does every day feel like Groundhog's Day? Well, I'm here to tell you it's time to take charge of your life and know that you are meant for more than this. It's time to go rogue. This podcast is for people that are ready to say enough is enough and discover their new normal with entrepreneurship. Get ready because your rogue journey starts now. Let's get into it. Hello, ladies, and welcome to the Go Rogue podcast. I am super excited because I have MeLisa Dill here with me, and she is ready to share her rogue journey with you. She is the COO of The Virtual Savvy, and she is over there killing it and having fun while doing it. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold, but we're going to rock it out. So, MeLisa, welcome. I am so excited to have you.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. When I heard about your podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun.
Oh yeah, we're going to dive right on in because we've been chatting before this and I think we're already 20 minutes in. I was like, we should just get started because we're missing the goal here. So just to introduce you to people, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about you and your background.
Okay, so I am a mom of 4 and they are all boys. Yes, and I have been married to my wonderful husband for 18 years. We got married in 2000. So we have been on a wonderful journey. I had originally started in life doing regular work, finding retail, well, not necessarily retail positions, but finding corporate positions and working there. And I was actually in my late 30s, early 40s, whenever I started finding online work. And so the very first thing that I want to say is it's never too late, right? Yes. Even old people like me.
It's not old.
Sometimes I feel like it, but we can still find success. We can still kill it. The millennials are not the only ones able to rock out this thing. We can do it too. And I'm sure we're going to get into that whole thing, but I transitioned from the corporate world and I started as a virtual assistant. I took Abby Ashley's, the VA boot camp, and I started with her course, was able to get in there and scale pretty quickly. But because of the work that I had done corporately, I had a little bit higher skill set. So then I took Tina Forsyth's online business manager certification and I got my certification there. And then again, was able to up-level my services. And as full circle would have it, I became Abby's OBM.
That's
and
awesome.
Of course, yes. And then of course you just mentioned that I am now the COO of the business. So it has been a fantastic journey, and man, having the online flexibility has been amazing for my family, being able to be there for my children, for my husband, when things need to get taken care of or come up, having that freedom in finances and in time has been paramount. It's just amazing.
I love that. And what we're going to do on this podcast, I want to dive into those beginning steps because a lot of us, especially when I started my rogue journey, we always see the end result. And when we're in our job that we hate, we're like, well, how am I going to get there? So I really want to dive into what led you down this path and what really started this rogue journey for you.
Oh my gosh. I have an earful for you because I was there.
We are ready.
Yeah. I was struggling and I was there. So here we go. I was working for a business who, it was a 7-figure business, but it was like a mom and pop shop. So it was a local business that they did wholesale, retail, jewelry manufacturing. So we had a physical location, a brick and mortar store, but we had sales reps all over the United States. And my position, as it turns out, the person that I worked for is actually my husband's first cousin.
Okay.
She owned the business. So it was family that owned the business. And she came in, she knew that I had corporate experience before, but I was a stay-at-home mom actually for many years. Okay. And so whenever I came into the company, she's like, hey, I just really need some good customer service. That's where I really need you right now. So I started there And then I worked my way up to her operations manager. Basically, I was taking care of the entire business, and she was the one designing the jewelry, and that was kind of it.
Okay.
So as far as like the hiring process, making sure that we were in wholesale stores and stuff like that, like I took care of all of that, really ran the back end of the business. So time went on. I was there with her for about 2 years, and we ended up getting into the process of building our own home. Oh, well, yes, it was amazing. Oh, so thankful for that. But what happened is whenever we did that, we bought property that was much further away from where the store location was at. Okay. And the setup that we had was that I would be able to get off work when the kids got out of school. Well, because the home was further, the school was further, so my time was shortened. And we had just come off the summer. And so she was used to me working until 5:00, but then I started getting off at 2, which was typical. Like it really was like pretty much the same as the other one. It was like a 15-minute difference from when the kids had been at school before. Okay. She was like, I need more time from you. Like, I'm not getting enough time from you. There's things in the business, you know, we're growing, which they were absolutely growing. Like I mentioned, it was a 7-figure business. So obviously every day and every minute was very valuable.
Oh yeah.
And so, but I was able to get my work done. I was still able to get my work done, but she was just very stressed about it. So she tells me, if you don't give me more hours, I'm going to have to hire somebody else, and you're going to train them out of your job.
Oh my God.
Now keep in mind, she knows she's family. First of all, she's family. Yeah. And she knows that we're in the middle of building our home and our mortgage. And she knows this too. Our mortgage was doubling. You know, we were fortunate enough to be able to build bigger, which we have, like I mentioned, 4 children. So we were like in a little bitty tiny home. That was our starter home. And, you know, that mortgage was doubling with the bigger size and stuff. And so it was basically just blackmail. Like honestly and truly, she was just pushing me into a corner because I'm one of those people. I'm going to find a way, make a way. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe she just said that to me. I could go on and on and on about the typical culture of the business. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a good one. She had made really great money, and I'll give you a short example, and this I think will probably sum up everything. Yeah. I was the operations manager. I was running the entire business, and I was making $10 an hour.
That's insane. Like, right? That is not right.
Exactly. That's the gratitude she had towards the people who worked for her. There was none. There was just, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. So when she backed me into the corner and threatened my big old fat $10 an hour job, I was like, are you kidding me? Like I had just talked to the guy at Best Buy who is a salesman making $10 an hour. Yeah. I'm like, don't do this to me. Like I can't believe that's the route you're taking with me. Like that's crazy. So I went home and I prayed like I've never prayed before. And I'm like, God, you have got to show me how to get out of this. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to make it work, but show me something. So I started just networking. I started talking to everybody I knew. And I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? And I have 4 children. So I needed that flexibility. I needed to be home whenever they got home. And I'm like, what job is just going to let you off early?
None.
Right. That's probably not going to be an easy find. So it was very interesting because I had several people who actually mentioned virtual assistants. And when in my search, girl, you know, I'm hitting up Pinterest because Pinterest has everything. They have the answers to life there. Like exactly. You need an outfit, you got that. You need a recipe, you got that. You need a job, we got you covered there too.
Yes.
I love Pinterest. So of course I've been on Pinterest looking and just scouring the internet, and I had come across virtual assistant work. But it's like everything, right? Whenever you're looking online, you're so scared that you're going to get scammed.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many things that you can just dump your money into, and you just don't know what you're going to get. And, you know, we're building a house. So I didn't have money to dump places. We have 4 children. I didn't have money to dump places. But over and over, I heard virtual assistants, and I heard that you could make pretty good money there. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm running a 7-figure business, so let's give it a try.
Yeah, you already know how to do it.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to jump in. So I literally went back. It was about a week later that I had prayed and searched and everything. And again, over and over, she just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And finally, I went ahead and purchased a program, which I'm not going to name the program because it actually wasn't a good program. I did waste my money.
I've been down that road where I purchased programs that did not work. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, it turned out it wasn't a good one, but I did purchase a program. I'm like, I'm going in, I'm doing this. Like, I am not going to be pushed around anymore. And again, like at this point, I was in my older 30s, I mean, I didn't feel like an inexperienced little kid anymore. I had like really valuable skills. And she had said on a regular basis, like, I don't know what I would do without your mouth. It's so funny, right? She had told me that she appreciated the way that I talked to her customers and how I explained her product and all that stuff. And I was the voice of the company, basically.
Okay.
And she really appreciated that. So anyways, I went in and I quit.
That's amazing. And I definitely want to highlight that point of where she told you, like, I'm going to train somebody out of your job. And the reason why I want to highlight that, even though that's like the most painful part, because that was family, but I feel like women, we have two choices. We can either take that pain and live with it and deal with it, or we could take that pain and catapult us toward what we're supposed to be doing, even though it's super painful. And I want to congratulate you on that because in my opinion, you chose the right road. You know what I mean? And I think that's so important for women to hear.
Yes. So I just want to scream from the rooftops. Yes. Yeah. Right. Like, sometimes people come into your lives and they're so difficult, or maybe it's a situation and it's cold and it's really hard for you to see the silver lining. The storm is just so hard. It's just really hard to see the silver lining. And you're like, this bad thing is happening to me, but that bad thing that's happening because I was under stress. That was an incredibly stressful time. Like, our mortgage is doubling and you're telling me like, you're going to yank my job at any point. Like, you know what I mean? She was completely taking away any stability and expecting me to just suck it up and take it. And knowing that we're having all this, I mean, I was so perplexed by the whole thing and so torn and hurt. This is family, and you're willing just to tell me, I don't care about you. I'm making 7 figures. My family, like, she's buying her teenage kids brand new cars and going on, they're going on vacations on a regular basis, and I'm running the business. You suck it up, you do the dirty work, and then I'm making all the money, and I really don't care about you and your position. And you know what? Unfortunately, that's how a lot of places are.
Yes, I agree.
It's very sad, but that's most positions that you're getting into whenever you're looking at employment. Now, that's not all of them. And there's some amazing positions out there. And I actually do feel like I have one of those, but you have to be willing to take back that,
power.
That power. Yeah. Thank you. That you have to be willing to take back that power of your life. Like, you have to see when people are taking advantage of you and be willing to do something about it. Because if you, like, I personally, I'm just a person of faith. I put my faith in the Lord, and I know that He's not going to give more to me than what I can handle. And if I pray and give it all to Him, He's going to take care of me. It may not be the way that I think it needs to happen. And there was still stress. So right afterwards, I took this course, and I paid like $350 or something like that for this course. Yeah. I had already quit. Like, it was in the whole process of quitting my job. And then the course was not good. So the stress continued. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I told my husband I could do this. I've just wasted $350. And let me add another element. That was October of 2016. Okay. So November is whenever, the end of October, 1st of November, that's when I took the course. I don't have a job, and now Christmas is right around the corner. We have 4 children, and we're building a house. Like,
wow, that is like That's crazy. That's really
right.
crazy.
When I tell you stress level was high, it was like, oh my, and I could not tell my husband that I have just bombed this thing. Like I just made this horrible turn. I couldn't tell him that.
Yeah.
So I kept looking and kept looking. And that's actually whenever I found the VA boot camp by Abby Ashley. And that's when I came across her boot camp. And let me tell you how desperate I was at this point. Well, I don't know about desperate, but let me tell you about the Lord's goodness, I guess is the better way. So Abby was in the process of launching her boot camp. And again, it's like early December at this point, and I'm looking at it and everybody's talking about how great it is. I'm looking at all the points that she has. I'd found her on Pinterest and I had soaked in all of her free stuff. She had like tons and tons of free information, and her free stuff was better than the course that I just paid for.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, really. Yeah. See, and like that stinks.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and so then all of this stuff, and Christmas. And so Abby had asked, she put out in her public group, because she does have two groups, one for the boot camp that's private, but then she has her, Facebook group for virtual assistants that anyone can join. And I was part of that group. And she put out in the group, okay, who has taken the boot camp? We'd love to hear your testimony about it, that kind of thing. So there was all these people chiming in about how wonderful it was. And they got so much value out of it. And they've got clients and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, look, I'm going to come at it from a different perspective and just tell you, like, I wish this would have been the course that I put my money into, because I just wasted my money. It's now Christmas time. I have nothing to show for like my VA business, and the free stuff is better than what I just spent my money on. Like as soon as we can get our income tax check coming in, I'm buying this course, So Abby seen that, and I was so broke. There was like no way I could pay for this course. It was like $1,000 up front, $997 up front, or $97 a month. And I didn't even have the 97. Like I didn't have a job. I didn't have the 97. So, and so she gifted me the program. She actually contacted me personally and she gifted me the program.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. So her generosity is just ridiculous. And the provision, again, that the Lord had made. So that was December of 2016. And I ingested that program like cake. I was like, oh, it's so good.
It was like do or die, right?
Yeah, that's where we were at. Yeah, it was like, it was time to hustle, and we had to do this thing. And January of 2017 is whenever I got my first client.
That's quick.
Blown. Yeah, it really was. And Abby actually provides a marketing strategy for you as well. So a lot of people have had the same success. Now, not everybody will, because we're all in different places. We can all, take that information differently. Like people who have a full-time job, they're not able to dive in like I was. Like I was at home.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. So I was able to ingest it. But so January of 2017, I got my first client, and then I was booked out -1. I had one more spot open by March of
Wow, that is really quick.
2018. Yeah. I was like floored. Like this is a real thing, right? Yeah. Online work is legitimate. There's tons of opportunities. There's tons of areas that you could get into. And even though I did have a pretty decent background, I feel, the services that I offered were very basic because I didn't even have confidence in myself. I was so broke down from that
previous experience.
Yeah. That relationship that we had before. I was so broke down from that I had no confidence in myself whatsoever. So the services that I was offering were very basic administrative services. Okay. And so again, I go back to like, this thing is for anyone and everyone willing to hustle. And I don't like those people that say you don't have to hustle. Like, I think that is like, just, if anything is worth doing, it's worth doing well, right? Like you can't expect somebody just to come to you and give you money for little or no effort. Like there's going to be hustle involved there. And And if you're willing to put that in, if you're willing to work for it, then it's doable. And I did, girl. Like,
yes, you did.
I had, yeah, I had a baby at the time. He was 2.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, so during the day it was challenging because, you know, he wanted my attention because he didn't have any of his brothers there. So
Okay.
I'm doing the course, I'm trying to pay attention to him. And whenever things didn't get done during the day, and then we're also building our house, right? So then the contractor is like taking me outside and getting me to look at this, that, and the other. And it was so surreal because I'm like, we have no money. And then I'm dumping money into this house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like we need the cheapest fixtures and how, you know, and stuff like that. Like what floors can I get that's super cheap or whatever, you know, and we're totally stressing about the whole thing. And then clients start coming in. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like I can get the $10 or I can get the $50 faucet instead of the $10 faucet at Walmart, you know?
Yeah. And like the fact that you chose yourself and you're able to share this story will inspire another woman to choose herself and just, you know, go all out and really try to put herself out there and do what she's been longing to do, stay home with her children or start her own business or whatever that road journey looks like. So I think that is super important. It affected your family and you may not know it. We may not see it, but you're going to affect another family or another woman.
You know, that really truly is my desire. Not that I feel like I'm just amazing or anything like that. I come to you guys so humbly. I love you, all the hearts. But just with the facts that it's doable, like you can do this. Like I'm not unique. I'm not anything, you know, unattainable. I'm not in Hollywood, y'all. It's just me. I'm a Southern girl from Mississippi, you know, just very grounded. And if I can do it, you can do it. Like it's doable. You've got skills. And that's the thing, right? Everybody has like those innate skills. I feel like we all have our area of expertise, even though we don't realize it.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I mean, just for sure. Because there's like people who, I don't know, people who are numbers people who are graphics people who are organized, you know, we all have our skill set and you just got to get a hold of it and realize your value and don't let other people tear you down.
I love that. And my last question, and I think you might have already answered this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I was going to ask you, what's your number one piece of advice for a woman that might be struggling and wants to start her road journey, but doesn't know how or which way to turn?
Okay, yes. So I do want to get into the guts of this thing because I do think it's very important. The very first thing is understand where you're at financially. Okay. I have seen, because of the business that we're in at the Virtual Savvy, we do have the VA boot camp, and I have seen people dump money into our course and then they're not able to apply it. And then they really weren't able to afford it either. So now they've gotten their family into a financial bind and they come to us asking for help. I want you to understand where you are financially, and 2, understand that you don't have to buy anything. Like there is so much free information online right now. We're living in a time that is just, in my opinion, unprecedented when it comes to information and opportunities. You don't have to buy a course. You don't have to put your family in financial stress in order to make it work. You can do it on your own. DIY in this thing. Now, is it going to be a little bit harder? Yes, it will. It will be a little bit harder, but I just don't want people to feel like they're going to that they have to go under in order to come back up. You know what I mean? Let's stop that. That's the first thing. The second thing is the mindset. Get out of your head that you don't have skills. You have skills. Get into Facebook groups and just start talking to people and find out what kind of services they offer. I have seen people doing dog training. I've seen people like selling piano lessons. A piano lesson. Like, how do you sell a piano lesson online? To me, that boggles my brain. Like, and you know what? This work. Yeah, I don't personally know him. Abby actually does. Abby personally knows him, and he's making 7 figures teaching people how to play the piano online. And it's the majority of his business is automated. So he's not even in it anymore. Yeah, he did his original course, put that out there, and the majority of it is on auto. And money is just coming in every month. Again, this is something to me that's such a physical thing. Like, how would you even do that? And he is killing it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we've got the health industry. We have coaches. We have speakers. We have organizers, graphic designers. Like, there are so many options. Get out there and do a Pinterest move like I did and like see what's out there. Just start searching online jobs.
Yeah.
It is definitely available to you. So get out of your mindset that you don't have skills, because you do. So many valuable skills. And then I want to take this a step further too. You may not have a lot of skills, but you only need to be one step in front of the person that you're helping.
Oh, love that. So true. That's so true.
Isn't it? Like, I don't have to be, the most techie person in the world to help somebody run their business. I just need to be one step ahead of them. I can manage your social media. I can help you with your inbox, things like that. Now, granted, I am very versed in the VA space. And so that's where a lot of my information is going to come from.
Mm-hmm.
You can take it and apply that to anything. So get out of your head that you're not skilled. You are valuable and you are skilled. And so then the next thing is, and this is really hard, this is a mindset thing too. Stop being scared and just go for it.
Oh yeah. We're all running scared for no reason, really.
Right. It's being afraid of the unknown. And it's very natural, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I urge you and I push you to jump. Like, get off that cliff and just jump. Just go for it. There's going to be a wind to take you off to soar, or there's going to be a platform somewhere for you to land on. I mean, something's going to give. Yes. Just jump. Getting out there is the scariest part. And sometimes, and if you go in, if you actually search my name, you'll come across a couple Facebook pages that I have. And I was talking to myself. I had no followers. And I still don't, but just because of the path that it ended up happening for me. But I had no followers. I'm putting out information and it's just to me, and nobody's hopping on lives with me or anything like that. It was hilarious. But, if you never get out there and push yourself to step outside your comfort zone, then it's never going to happen. Yeah. So push, and get out there and just do this thing. So I think that's kind of like the guts of what I wanted to tell you about, and really encourage people. Just, you got it. You can do it.
And that's so inspirational, because of course, when you're in the thick of it, you can't see a way out. And then when you hear these types of stories, it's like, well, their back was up against the wall too. My back is currently up against the wall. What can I do to get out of it? So I want to thank you so much. But before we hop off of here, I want you to let everybody know where they can find you, because I know people are going to seek you out because you're just so amazing. So
you're so kind.
They know where they can find you.
So honestly, at this point, I don't have my own business that I'm putting out there. I am in the Virtual Savvy. Mm-hmm. So if you search on Facebook, our Facebook page is the Virtual Savvy. And then we have a Facebook group that is amazing. And it's called Virtual Assistant Savvies. Virtual Assistant Savvies. And so search that on Facebook, and that page and that group, the group specifically, we have 25,000 people in there, and we have, praise the Lord, we've been able to nurture the group, and everybody is really giving. So if you're looking for a space to ask questions and to be vulnerable and to seek out information, everybody in there is doing that. And we have moderators to make sure that everybody is playing nice, but they typically do at this point. We've grown it to where it's really great. I'm in there all the time. Abby's in there all the time. The team is, we have moderators, and everybody's super helpful. I would love it if anybody would jump in there and say hi.
Yeah. So if you are listening, go ahead and hop over to that group and check it out because I'm actually in that group and everybody's super, super nice. And when I started my journey, that was one of the first groups I checked out, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that is definitely a great space to be in. So thank you so much for being on the Go Rogue podcast. And thank you to my listeners. I hope you found that inspirational and you got so much value out of that. I know I did just listening and being here. So thank you for sharing your story. If you want to join other women on their Rogue journey, head over to my group, Go Rogue. You can find it at bit.ly/Rogue community and let us know where you're at with your Rogue journey. So thank you so much for being here and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.